Taylor Swift arrives at Chiefs-Bengals game after Harris endorsement. Trump criticism. Swift was at last week's Chiefs game as well. Taylor Swift's whirlwind of a week will end with some NFL action. The pop star arrived at Arrowhead Stadium more than an hour before the Kansas City Chiefs play the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday evening. Swift was at the stadium to cheer on the Chiefs, but mostly supporting her boyfriend, tight end Travis Kelce. Swift was wearing a long Chiefs shirt and thigh-high black leather boots. Swift's appearance came hours after she received some criticism from former President Trump. The Republican candidate wrote about his distaste for Swift in a post on Truth Social. Swift endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris for president earlier in the week after she and Trump took part in the first presidential debate. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most, Swift wrote on Instagram. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate at Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ+ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research, and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do, and the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. She signed off on her post referencing herself as a childless cat lady. Trump responded to Swift's endorsement on Fox and Friends on Wednesday morning. It was just a question of time. She couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden. You couldn't possibly endorse him, Trump said, adding that he was no fan of Swift. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat. And she'll probably pay a price for it in the marketplace. Also, last week, Swift won 7 MTV Video Music Awards, including Artist of the Year. She was in the house last week when the Chiefs held on to defeat the Baltimore Ravens.